This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to month 12, Professional Practice. This is your last class. I really am proud of all you guys. I saw you last time in month 4 for effective copywriting, and now I have you in month 12, and we're going to be talking about a different type of copywriting this month. So with Professional Practice, we're going to be doing a lot of study of ethics of design, and we're going to be working on our resumes and cover letters and personal brand statements this month, along with doing a really fun creative project. So I'm going to go over all of that tonight to see, kind of preview what's going on and get you focused on what's coming up this week. So with this month, we're really talking about how designers need to know the legal issues that are going on in the design world. And that's not just, locally in your community, but throughout your state, throughout the world. It all comes down to your personal ethics and what you believe is right, and understanding that you don't have to accept a job if it does something that goes against your personal ethics. So you want to be able to present yourself and your talent at the highest level of professionalism. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing this month, is talking about how to present ourselves professionally. So we're going to give you the tools that are going to help you navigate the things to come out in the media design world. Some of you may be already working in it. Some of you may be trying to get your first jobs in it. So what you learn this month is going to help you move forward. So we're going to talk about what's going on in today's job market this month and the opportunities that are out there. We're going to talk about ethics, which includes copyright law, copyright infringement, working with intellectual property. So we'll be doing a lot of that. This is the course textbook. So make sure that the course textbook is downloaded into your VitalSource bookshelf. You've already gotten a code probably in the email. We're going to be using this book a lot. The first thing you're going to be using it for is the research paper that's due on Sunday of week 2, but it's open now because you want to get started with finding the 2 cases that you're going to be talking about and looking for social media cases in there as well. So make sure you have the 10th edition downloaded. It looks like this. Okay, so we're going to talk about ethics in the media design industry, issues with intellectual property and copyright, opportunities in the industry, and then we're going to do this creative project called an experience map. An experience map is something that brand developers and sales people and the marketing people of a product use to position their product and to truly understand the experience of their customer. So what we're doing is kind of flipping the script, and you're going to basically be the product. And we're going to bring this full circle. Remember, in month 1 in Mastery, you did a timeline project in week 4 that looked at all the 12 courses you were about to take and what you were going to expect and what you were going to go above and beyond and learn in each of your courses. We're going to kind of revisit that, but we're going to do it in the form of an experience map. So I'll show a couple of examples of that in a minute. So ethics, what are ethics and how does that affect the media design industry? Well, we're going to be looking at questionable ethics in practice of media design. So understanding what not to do can help you understand what you should be doing. Again, when it comes to personal ethics, it's understanding your own moral code and what you think is right. Like, I would never take a freelance job that I know the company is, say, polluting the river in my county. That just goes against my personal ethics, so I would turn down the job. So we're going to be learning about stuff like that. We're going to look at case studies that is going to be tied to the research paper. And then each week we're going to do a discussion board that's tied into the topic of the week. So be prepared for that. I'll talk more about that in a second. We're going to talk about intellectual property in terms of situations that involve intellectual property rights. We're going to compare discoveries with the research findings that you find as you're doing your research paper for week 2. And you're going to look at exceptions that are legal when using work created by others. How do you go about doing that and not break any copyright laws? The experience map, we're basically going to reflect on your experiences over the last 12 months. Like I said, we're taking the timeline project from month 1 and just doing it in reverse. We're going to look at how everything we experienced over these last 12 months informed your experience and led to your understanding of what media design is. Okay, so here's an example of an experience map. So like I said, you can have fun with this project. It's going to reflect on your experience over the last 12 months. So you can see it's got its ups and downs. If you look at the top of this map in the black, you can see the journey. You can see that there's specific call outs of things that happened over the 12 months. You're going to think about all 12 months in terms of doing, feeling, and thinking, or thinking, feeling, and doing, actually. You're going to think about what went on in every course, how you were feeling about what you were doing, and what you were actually doing. So we're going to create these maps that can be as fun as you want them to be. So here's another one. This was another mountain climbing version that had a lot of ups and downs along the way. You can all probably have experienced something similar. I know when I went through creative writing MFA in those 12 fast months, it was insane, and I had some really great times, and I had some times where I was like ready to throw in the towel. But you guys didn't. You're in month 12, so we're going to have you illustrate your experience through the map. Just to remind you, professionalism counts. Just a heads up, it's your last month. I want to make your last month in media design MFA a positive experience, and one that you learn a lot from and take forward with you. So while professionalism counts, if you find yourself struggling with deadlines or need an extension, please contact me before the assignment is due. That way I can give you an extension before the platform marks you as late and zeroes you out. So be prepared to, to work hard this month, but it is your last month, and I understand that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, so we've got a couple of things going on this week. I'm going to do these in reverse order. I'm going to talk first about the resume, cover letter, and personal brand statement workshop that we are doing. So in the discussion board this week, what you're going to do is you're going to watch the tutorial, Designing a Resume for Creatives on lynda.com. Now, I can totally relate to this statement. If you haven't looked at your resume in a while, you really need to. You need to update it. You need to freshen it up. And this tutorial is so awesome. My resume I thought was good, but then after watching this, I revitalized mine, and I was really glad I did. So watch this tutorial, and I want you to look at your resume and see what you can fix, because you're going to be posting your resume and a cover letter into the discussion board so that we can look at each other's work and give each other feedback on it. So you want your current resume that you're going to post in the discussion board to be the best one, as if you are applying for the job you're going to write about in your cover letter. So if you remember, in month 1, you guys did that. In week 3, you did the worksheet where you did research on the field and companies you may want to work for. So we want you to do that again and go look for a job that you want to apply for. And what we're going to do is you're going to read a bunch of articles that I have here called How to Write Your Cover Letter That Don't Put Hiring Managers to Sleep, and using some of the tips from all the reading here on these articles, you're going to write your cover letter to that job. So you're going to post the cover letter, the job description, and your resume in the discussion board by Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. Then you're going to, by Friday, you're going to workshop your classmates' resume cover letter and make sure that they're using the writing prompts that are in the articles to make that cover letter really stand out. Make sure that everything is spelled right. The easiest way to lose a job is to have a typo in either your cover letter or your resume, because they don't even look at it after that. So you could be an Oscar Emmy award-winning art director, and it doesn't matter because you had a typo on the resume and it didn't make it past the typo. So it's really important that we workshop each other's. Okay, so answer these writing prompts as you review one of your classmates. I want you to make sure you're reviewing a classmate's work who may not have had a response yet, so don't repeat on each other's responses. So find someone. I want everybody to get some feedback. Then by Sunday, what you're going to do is you're going to learn about the importance of a personal branding statement by watching this quick little YouTube video, and then you're going to write your own personal brand statement based on these 4 writing prompts. So think about what your passion is, how you make things happen, what's the one thing that, you know, separates you from the crowd, how does somebody benefit from your skills as opposed to something else. So use what you write about here to craft your personal brand statement, and then just post it in FSO. And there's some other resources here for that. Okay, so that's what's going on for the discussion board. So remember, the resume and cover letter with the job description is due Wednesday. By Friday, you're going to workshop one of your classmates who hasn't been workshopped yet. You're going to go over their materials and give feedback. Then by Sunday, you're going to write your personal brand statement. And that's all that's due this week. Why? Because next week is really busy. So you have a research paper that's due at Sunday of week 2. Let me pull that up real quick so you know what's going on with that. Okay, this research paper is based on the case studies and the article that we have down here by Wally Snyder that talks about media ethics and what we can do to have enhanced advertising ethics. He makes a really strong case in his article. So you're going to take the Snyder article and compare it to some cases in the book. You're going to write a 1,500 to 2,000 word expository essay based on these 3 writing prompts. So the reason I'm talking about it now is because you just have the discussion board to do this week. So start reading and getting your paper outlined so that you're not leaving it till the last minute in week 2. Because in week 2, we're going to be doing a lot of other work. So I want you to have a head start on this paper. So get moving on it now. Don't leave it till the last minute. Good writing takes time. First shot, you know, at writing a paper is never good enough. You always have to let it sit and give it some time to, you know, settle, and then you go back to it with fresh eyes, and then you can really turn in a strong piece of writing. So as you're reading this week, read with intention. Understand that these are the writing prompts that you are going to be asked to write about. So make sure that as you're reading the Snyder article and you're going through the textbook and finding some case studies, that you understand what we're asking for in the paper, and you read with intention and mark up your text appropriately, because you are going to have to cite your sources, quote from the text, cite them properly, and make sure you're doing proper APA style. Okay, that's due Sunday of week 2. So I want you to get started on that this week, because that's what we've got going on. Okay, so every week we're going to go over the assignments and the topic of the week. I'm going to show more experience maps over the next couple weeks so you can get some ideas. The fun thing about the experience map is that you get to be as creative as you want. So think of a theme that might, you know, you could tie to, like I could talk about I don't know, in April I'm going to a music festival. I could see me doing a whole theme of music festivals to describe my experience through the creative writing MFA program if I was to do the map. So think about, start thinking about how the map's going to work, and I'll show some more examples and get more into the specifics of that assignment next week. But this week I want you to, you know, tighten up that resume, upload it with a really strong cover letter using the specific things that we give you for the articles that we're asking you to look at, and then write your personal brand statement, okay? And get reading on the research paper. Any questions? Brian, any questions?
Not yet.
Okay. If you're watching this on the archive and you're starting to work on these things and something is puzzling, please pick up the phone and call me during office hours. Shoot me a quick message through FSO. Send me an email through your fullsail.edu email account. I'm really good at getting back to you right away. If you remember from month 4, I turn everything around really fast. So if you need me, I am here to make this last month as easy as possible so that you can, you know, figure out what your next step is once you graduate in April. Okay? All right. So if you have any questions, just don't hesitate to reach out. I'll talk to you guys next week.
Actually, I do have a question.
Yes.
Okay. So for the personal brand, I know there's those questions that you want us to basically answer, but we're not like formatting it with like the question and then answering it. We're doing kind of just
No.
like a paragraph.
Yeah, you can talk about those bullet points in that. Let me go back to that assignment real quick.
But it should be just like a paragraph, not.
It should be a paragraph. These are really what these questions are doing for the personal brand statement, is to get you thinking about you in terms of these things. So think about, this is going to help you draft that one line. Basically, think of your personal brand statement as your personal tagline. Remember from month 4, we said taglines are, 7 words or less, and they're memorable. And we went over a bunch like Lucky Charms, they're magically delicious, and they're still using that tagline all these years later. So you want to use these for writing prompts to discover some things about you that you could possibly work into your personal brand statement. Okay?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Okay, great. All right. If you have any questions, if you're watching this later, please reach out and let me know, and I'm more than willing to help.